This video is going to be really short. The Sephora sale is coming up, as we all know, and I did not intend to do recommendations because y'all know I don't buy a lot of stuff. Y'all know I stick with what's tried and true. Once in a blue moon, I'll try something new. I do have a few things in my cart though. I did receive a sample with a purchase that I made of the Dr. Dennis Gross, one of his new moisturizers, and I don't have the sample with me, but it has been working for me. I mentioned in a previous video, I'll find a picture and put it up here. I am going to get that during the sale because I have been using the sample. My face loves it, so it's all good. So I am going to order that, and the rest of this may be boring to you. I do not just buy stuff just because it's on sale. I do not usually just purchase something just to see because I have sensitive skin. So I rather stick to what I know works and to what I know that loves, and it's going to be stuff that you guys have seen me use on this channel many times. So what are some of my tried and true? I'm back to my Fenty eyeshadow primer, but I will say the Fenty website has good sales. And so if you want anything Fenty, sign up for their emails and you will be notified when there's a sale. Sometimes they have 30%, sometimes it's even up to 40% for select items. And so this is a tried and true for me, and when I wasn't using it, I missed it. And of course, my all-time go-to foundation is the Fenty Soft Matte. I do have the hydrating one in my cart because I'm thinking that'll go well with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I do have, and it's also a tried and true for me. When I tried the hydrating one before, I didn't like how glowy I looked, and so I want to try it over the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And then I can't always put a mattifying powder on my face because I just was not used to my face glowing. But I like the formula, and unlike the Soft Matte, which oxidizes, when I first put it on, it's like, girl, that's a little too light. But after a few minutes, it's just like, it is my skin tone. The hydrating one does not oxidize. So the way this dries down and looks like my skin, the hydrating one just goes on looking like my skin. And so it's not a problem. And the shades are the same, 335 in this one, 335 in the hydrating one, because lately my skin has been looking a little dry. I have been putting on additional moisturizer, and yes, it's winter, and I know a lot of us, even if our skin is not dry, it can be a little drier in the winter. And so that's what made me think, do I want to try that again and just use a mattifying powder or the Milk Hydro Grip, which is a hydrating primer, but it hydrates though. It's not dry. So I'm like, I don't know how it works, but it just does. And so I will be trying that. The only powder I use, I'm lying, I do have the Too Faced Ethereal Born This Way powder that I purchased for the kit. This was the leftover that didn't fit into the containers that I bought to put it in. I do like this, but I don't like what it does to my under eye area. It makes my under eye area look ghastly. So this is good for everywhere on the face, and so I tend not to use that. But my go-to setting powder is the Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder, and I use shade Truly Tawny because Truly Tawny, excuse me, you can see it when I tap it on my face, but then when I blend it out, it's like, where did it go? This is my skin tone, and I know you can't see anything in there. They do, I think, have 5 shades, and the one I wear, as I said, is Truly Tawny. And I opened this in July 1st. So August, September, October, it's almost November 1st. Today is October 30th. And this is all that's left in here. Like, I go through this in like 4 months because it's the only powder I use. If you have a lot of powders, if you have a lot of foundations, if you have a lot of eye primers that you use, I would say just get backups of your tried and true. Unless you want to go through returning stuff, if you just buy it to try it and then you don't like it. But I prefer tried and true, and this is definitely a tried and true. I do have one backup, and because I went through this in 4 months, 4.5 months, by the time I get through this, I do have one backup. I'm going to buy another one because I do go through it quickly, and because I only have a few certain things, like the foundation, I go through that in like 7-8 months. The eye primer, I go through that in like 4 or 5 months. Fenty Brow Pencil, I go through that in like 6 months or so, because that's the only ones that I use. If you have a lot of stuff, number one, I would say don't buy a lot of stuff just because it's on sale. And also keep in mind that brand websites sometimes will offer more than 20% if you're Rouge, and if you're not, 15% from Sephora, and if not that, 10% from Sephora. You can get better deals on brand websites than that. Even at Ulta, which sells the Fenty stuff and some of the other stuff I'm going to show you. And so just keep that in mind too. Yes, I do have a Sephora link down below for Sephora US and for Sephora in the UK. And I also have an Ulta link down below. Feel free to save the links. Feel free to use them. Feel free to share them. They are affiliated. If you do use them, I will get a small commission off of that. So back to what I would recommend. Y'all already know. House Labs. I wish they were sold at Ulta. They're not. I have 5, 6, 7 of the blushes. I only pulled one. I do recommend them. The PAO is 24 months. I don't have a stock of bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. And so I will get through these. And this is a size Sky. I don't use it often because I pick the blushes at random. But I do see some of the H's rubbing off on this side. This, even though it's really dark, it is described as a berry purple. I go light with it and it looks fine. If I want to do a look working with or playing with shading, this can work well for that because it is buildable. So even if you're my complexion or lighter, a size Sky will work for you. Just go with a light hand with a fluffy brush. And even if you put too much, once you blend it out, it looks fine. So I really do recommend any of these. I have all of them except for, I think it was Dragon Fruit Haze or Dragon Fruit Days, because it was a little too cool tone for me. So that's the only one I don't have. And yes, I said I had 7. 2 are the newer ones, the smaller containers. I have 2 of the House Labs bronzers. This is medium level 7. And I also have deep level 10, which to me comes off rosy, which is ironic because it's supposed to be deeper than the medium levels. But this one is good for me for bronzing. And you see the H is gone. There's a dip in the middle. I really love these. And the only reason I have other bronzers is because some were gifted to me by Bestie. And the same with blushes and highlighters. And then I wanted to do this Fenty face thing, and so I bought some Fenty stuff. And for the House Labs highlighters, I have 4. This one is chocolate opal, and it's described as a warm brown. This makes me toasty. But if I go lightly in strategic areas, it warms up my skin like just enough for me. If you're deeper than me, this is going to look gorgeous on you. If you're my complexion, you go lightly and just put it in strategic places, because it is a highlighter, so it's supposed to be here. I don't use it for there. I'll go lightly and put it like over, my blush, and maybe a little on my forehead and a little bit here. This is beautiful. And I kept looking at it like, but the same with the size Sky, it just works. It just works. And so I do recommend the House Labs. And while we're talking about House Labs, I would love for them to come out with more colors of the Atomic Shaker. And listen, watch Lady Gaga's video. She shakes it for a little bit. You got to shake it before you use it. This, once it dries down, for me, it does not move. It does not transfer. This will stay all freaking day. Oh, my battery just died in my fan. Because, y'all, when I was doing this look, sweat was dripping down my face. And that's why this looks like this over here. Darn, you really just clicked off. Wow. Okay, I'll plug you in. I wish they had more shades. This, for me, is a perfect nude. And I also have, this one, is Rosewood Shine. This is a perfect nude for my complexion. It's like there, but it's not like bam pow, and it doesn't make me look like I have concealer lips, which is what my concern was, because it doesn't look, I'm trying to get the glare off, it doesn't look like this. When it dries down, it's a little bit darker. So when I saw this, because I ordered it online, when I saw this, I was like, ooh. But when I put it on, I was like, ooh. And the other one I have is Ruby Shine, which is described as a blue red. This is the perfect red for me, for my complexion, for what I like. And I wish they had other colors. Which brings me to Sephora collection. I think I might try the concealers again. Before I was trying the caramel color, but it wasn't quite my complexion. The Estee Lauder 4N is perfect for this area of my face, but it doesn't match my under eye because of my under eye discoloration. I have yet to find a concealer that will work, excuse me for smacking, that will work for my under eye discoloration. And so usually I just count on the Fenty foundation to cover it up. And then when I do put concealer here, it's like a line, a dot here and a dot here, and that's it. And it does look okay, but it is perfect for this area here. My face is not one complete undertone, and having under eye discoloration, that creates its own tone. And so that's why it's been so challenging to find something that's going to work, that's not going to be brightening. A lot of times for me, actually all the times for me, when I've tried a brightening concealer, all it did was make my under eye look gray and ashy. And so I would have to color correct and then put a concealer on and then do a brightening, and that's too much because y'all see I got wrinkles. So the more stuff I put under there, the more my wrinkles are going to show, and the more likely whatever I put there is going to crease. And so I just rather just use the foundation for that, and that's it. But I am thinking to try it again though, but I'm not sure. So speaking of the Sephora, back to that. And I did like the consistency of the concealer, but against the Estee Lauder, I like the Estee Lauder better because it was a better match for the rest of my face. And even for under eye, the Sephora one didn't work, but I was using their color caramel for like the rest of my face. The lip stains, the cream lip stains, they did reformulate. I have 3 of the new ones, and I have 4 of the previous ones. I do recommend these on sale because the Sephora stuff will be 30% off. These were a little bit cheaper before they reformulated, and these are now $16. And me here, hi Boo Boo the Full Troll Clown, I bought 3 of them at full price, and I really like them. So I think I may get a few more colors. They have a set, but everything in the set is in the red family, like a pinky red, a rosy red, a red mauve tone, but it's 5 of them. They're all full size. This is full size, and it's $38, and that's a good ass deal. And so that is in my cart, along with the Fashion Fair Set It Loose Powder and Truly Tawny, and the Dr. Dennis Gross Moisturizer is in my cart. So I do recommend these. If you're a liquid lipstick person like me, these are so comfortable. I have this on now, and then I put this shimmer on the center of the lip. These, they did really reformulate. The other ones that I have, when it dries down, I can feel that it's dry. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's dry. This, it is, and the other ones are creamy too, because it was called Cream Lip Stain Liquid Lipsticks. This one just says Cream Lip Stain. And even when I put it on, when I did it for a try on in a live stream, it never felt like it was drying down. But when I went to take it off, it wouldn't move. I was like, oh shit. And so if you are a liquid lipstick person, you want something that's going to stay, it's not going to feel dry, it's not going to make your lips feel cracked. Well, I'll speak for me. It doesn't make my lips feel cracked, and it will stay put. Now, if I eat something oily, eat spaghetti, eat pizza, something like that, then yes, it may come off on the interior part of my lip. But all it is, this right here is going to stay the same. And I really do think I'm going to get this set for $38 to get 5 of these. And then I can do ombre lips because they're different tones of reds and stuff like that. So that is in my cart as well. 5 of these for $38, and they're $16 a piece. And this is full size. If you have the older ones, the newer ones are shorter. It's the same size component. The cap is shorter. That's the only thing. So it's still the same size. Because I'm like, oh, these look different. It's the same thing. I mean, the same size. The other thing I do recommend, I did not purchase the Hourglass palette this year. And the last 2 years that I had them, I ended up decluttering them because I realized that I'm not drawn to face palettes. And it's easy because I had my blush, I had my highlighter, I had my bronzer, I had my finishing powder. But I just felt limited. Like when I would pick it up to use it, I would feel limited. Okay, I need to just use this whole thing for my blush situation, which is what I call highlighter, blush, and bronzer, all the same brand. But it's more fun for me, like when I just pick stuff at random, like a House Labs blush at random, excuse me, highlighter at random, versus everything is in the palette. Like I just feel like I need to use it because it's all in here. But anyway, I do have 3 because I got the ones that I liked. Y'all have seen me use Radiant Light. Y'all, this has pan. You see this, and I'm still using it. And excuse my under eye area because it is just like leaking over here. My eye is tearing over here, and it is just, I don't know what's happening, but I mean, I don't know why it's happening. But I do have a backup of this already, so this is not in my cart. The PAO is 12 months. Is it 12 months? And I believe so. I'm still using it though. It's not, the formula has not changed. I mean, it looks a little funky, like around the edges. It does look a little funky. It looks dry, that's what it looks like. But I do have a backup of this, so I'm not going to purchase a new one. But I do recommend these. If you don't want to get the entire face palette, Get these for the, if you're a Rouge, get it for the 20% off, or these are also sold at Sephora. And so you, when they have a coupon 20% off that includes prestige items, you can get this, and you can use your points, and you can stack codes. If they have offers, you can stack the offers. If you have a gift card, you can stack that. Sephora, you can only use one thing at one time. Ulta, if they have an offer, like for face powders, you can use that, and you can use your points. And if you have a gift card, you can use that too. I really love Ulta's system because they do, for me, help me maximize my money. So I do recommend the finishing powders from Hourglass. This one is Radiant Light. I also have Radiant Light. I have one now. It gives radiance. So this you see under here, that's Radiant Light. I also have Dim Light. And how Radiant Light gives radiance to my skin, Dim Light will dim stuff down just a little bit. And so this is something, if my blush is too bold for me or I went ham on it, just put this on and it'll just tone it down. And this is also good for me for in the summer. In the summer, Radiant Light makes me look like a fairy shit on my face if I go into heavy. Dim Light is really good for me in the summer. They have multiple shades, so you can find what you like best for you. And this is just getting worse and worse, y'all. I apologize. Like, that's hideous. I also have Eternal Light, which, if you're deeper than me, this is a finishing powder for you. All three of these are labeled as finishing powders. This one I use as a bronzer, strategically the same way I use Chocolate Opal from House Labs. And they are different. They show up different on my skin. That's why I kept them both. But this I'll just put like right here with a fluffy brush, maybe my forehead and my chin, just strategically to give me a little bit of warmth to my skin. And so I really do love this one as well. So I do recommend the House Labs. I don't know their website to ever do more than 20% off. But again, if you're not Rouge at Sephora, wait for that coupon at Ulta. And again, I have links for Sephora and Ulta down below. The other thing I would recommend, do I have anything else that I would really recommend? I'm looking at my stuff here because y'all know I'm predictable if nothing else. And other stuff I use is not at Sephora. So I think that's going to be it. So those are my tried and true. Keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, brand websites sometimes have really good deals. And so keep your eye on that. I do like the Lancome mascaras, but right now, like, I am in love with the Beyond mascara from City Beauty. I have a link for that below. Their stuff is expensive, and so I do make sure to post on my community tab when City Beauty has a sale, because their stuff is expensive. It's expensive. But if I had to pick right now out of the mascaras I have open, it would be the Beyond mascara. But I really do like the Lancome mascaras, and I do recommend their Sills Booster XL mascara base, which is a mascara primer. This works for me under every mascara I've tried it under except that Queen Musea one, and I think because that had a built-in primer in it. This is that's the only mascara that this did not work under. So I might put one of these in my cart, I'm not sure. So the only things in my cart right now is the Fashion Fair powder, the Fenty hydrating foundation, and the Sephora lip creams, because I don't buy stuff just to buy it. Oh, it's on sale, I'm going to get it. Maximize your money and get stuff that, I would say just get stuff that are your tried and true, to have a backup for something. If you only have like one eye primer, get a backup of that one eye primer that you love. So that's my recommendation. And I'm not knocking it, because I know sometimes people do just buy stuff because it is on sale. And that's fine too if you want to do that. But for me, I like to keep a curated collection. I want things to be unique. I want things to have a purpose. I want something to be, wow, like I'm really digging this, you know what I'm saying? And on that note, I was going to say Natasha Denona palettes, but her website has like 30% off every now and then, so you can get that cheaper over there. If you're interested in Pat McGrath, the Pat website, 30% off, 40% off, so I would say just wait for that. And also the end of year sales are coming up, you know, pre-Black Friday sales, and then Black Friday sales, and then pre-Cyber Monday sales, and then Cyber Monday sales. So a lot of sales are coming up, and so try not to feel like, oh, I am Rouge, I'm 20%, I'm going to get this and this and this and that. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Because I can almost guarantee you, you're going to be able to get more than 20% off, even if it's something you get from Sephora with their 20% off coupon that includes prestige, and they have an offer you can stack it with. So you can always save more, usually. then 20% off. So keep that in mind. And I know there's a lot of recommendation videos and people are recommending a ton of stuff, but just think, is this going to be unique to my collection? How realistic is it that I'm going to use it? Is this something that's tried and true and I'm running out of and I want to back up? You know, just ask yourself those questions. This is horrible. I apologize, y'all, because I'm sitting here like, girl. This is the this is the Estee Lauder concealer. And surprisingly, after all these years, I have not tried the Estee Lauder skincare. And I want to, but then I don't because my skin is so weird. And look at that. This right here is so friggin' wet. Like, nothing won't even go in there. And why am I trying this? Because this video is about to be over. So let me know if you have recommendations. You know, feel free to leave your recommendations down below. You know, it doesn't bother me when people comment stuff under videos because let's help each other out. Like, what are your tried and true that's in your cart that you want to get a backup of? I should have did this a little while ago because that does look a little bit better. And I sat here all this time looking crazy. I am a troll, so like, what did you expect? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, feel free. And on this side is better than this side. Y'all, oh my gosh. All right, we're going to, and this eye is still tearing, so it ain't going to look that way for long. So feel free to leave your recommendations below. Let me know if this video was helpful, even if only helpful in the sense of reminding you you don't have to get it just because it's on sale. And there will be another sale, and there will be a better sale. And honestly, for those who are not Rouge, which is nothing to aspire to, 15 and 10% is an insult because you can get that somewhere else. You can get more than that somewhere else. And so please just keep that in mind. Let me know if this was helpful to you. Me not saying, oh, get this, get that, get this, get that. And I only have a few things that are in my cart right now. So we're going to go on that note. I do hope that this was interesting, hearing a different point of view and not saying, you know, get all this stuff, but just really think about, is it going to be something that you're realistically going to use, and is it going to add to your collection, or is it just going to be, you know, the 10th foundation that you have to work through? This looks really crazy. What the hell, y'all? Let me go, because why is this Yo, we are going to go. I'm looking straight crazy. But thank you. But do let me know about all of that, though. Like, was this something different for you? Did this help you to think more about what you're buying? And just because something is on sale, that doesn't mean it's a sale for you. If you're not going to use it, if it's not going to add to your collection, if you can get a greater sale later, then what's the point in getting it now for 20, 15, or 10%? You know what I'm saying? On that note, we're going to go. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. Membership information is down below. I would love for you to like, share, subscribe, join, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. And even though we didn't do the intro, as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.